Catfish and the Bottlemen, this is Josh Widdicombe on XFM. Good morning, producer Neil.
Good morning, Josh.
Good morning to each and every one of you at home. It's a pleasure to have you with us. Do you like that?
Very nice.
Let's get down to brass tacks then, Neil. The Ting Tings. If you haven't heard the show before, it's mainly Ting Tings based. Or it has been by mistake since about mid-January this year, when we became obsessed with the Ting Tings and their career revival. We've had a lot of correspondence, because whenever the Ting Tings do stuff, we get correspondence now. That's basically a couple of things I need to go through on this. Sorry, I couldn't stop myself. So, the Ting Tings this week, I know this because I've been tweeted it numerous times, on Monday appeared on James Corden's Late Late Show in happening LA. Can you believe that? To give you an idea, Wednesday they had Russell Crowe, because I got sent the full week's listings. So someone said, look who's on the Late Late Show, and I was thinking, Russell Crowe, totally acceptable booking. Don't know why you're telling me. The Ting Tings are big in LA.
Bizarre. They're big in the
I always
States.
thought they'd be more east side than west side. So, I mean, I don't know what to do about it. We wanted someone to go and see the Ting Tings. That didn't happen. But now we just get repeated Ting Ting information that we have to report back to people. And I'm worried that they know.
What if they do, so what?
Why haven't they contacted us?
When they do, we'll probably stop talking about it and they'll lose a lot of free publicity.
I know there's no such thing as bad publicity, but if anyone has bought a Ting Tings album after listening to us, email us, josh@xfm.co.uk.
Or, we did want a review. I'm not sure if their performance is up on YouTube, but if someone wants to watch that and just tell us what it was like.
Oh, yeah, that's good. If someone could, if James Corden's listening as well, what were they like? I wonder whether it's his booking or whether it was, you know, the top bods at NBC or whatever channel he is.
Is Mrs. Ting over her food poisoning, which someone else let us know about?
I hope so. I can only hope so, because illness can be bad when you're of an elderly age.
At any age, in fact.
At any age, yeah. Okay, let's move on. This is the Ting Tings. It's not, it's Blur.
Widdicombe. XFM.
This is unfinished business when you can write to us about things we discussed before, really, isn't it? Basically, it's a means of recycling content.
Phil's part of the show.
Phil's part of the show. Isn't that our catchphrase? Dear Josh, producer Neil, I was listening to one of your Xmas podcasts, Come On Put Christmas. And Josh was surprised to learn that during a feature on Xmas films Put Christmas, that Babe, open brackets the pig movie, close brackets, had won Oscars. It did in fact win one for Best Visual Effect, beating Apollo 13. Yours truly, Callum Davies. Presumably the best visual effect was his mouth moving.
Maybe it was all the animals and their mouths moving, because that was quite a lot of animals.
That was a lot. I mean, in terms of films with animals with their mouth moving, it's probably the top one.
What would the other ones be?
Well, Babe Two Pig in the City, and, Dear Josh, I hate to break this to you, and perhaps shake the very foundations of the Widdicombe family, but I'm afraid that whilst you may be a distant relation of Sabin Baring-Gould, he did not write Abide With Me, as you claimed in episode 105. I thought it was a bit spurious when my parents told me. It was in fact written by Henry Francis Light, and you can visit the house he wrote it in Brixham, Devon. No thank you. A Wikipedia fact check could have saved you the embarrassment of a public apology you will now have to make to the family of Henry Francis Light. Probably a good thing you didn't go on Who Do You Think You Are, Liz. I can't remember why this relative of mine is of... When does a relative become an ancestor? When they die?
I'd guess so.
Either way, this guy's an ancestor. I can give less of a about him, but I want to know what he did. Dear Josh, this is a kick in the teeth, Neil. Dear Josh et al.
I'm fine with that.
Okay. After listening to a recent podcast with reference to the hit TV show Record Breakers, I felt compelled to tell you of the most predictable anecdotes going. I haven't read this one, and I'm literally going to enjoy it live. I attended a filming of the show. Oh, God, this is good. Well, one of my friend's dad was one of the experts. His expertise was linked to an unsuccessful archery record. Just to check before I continue reading, I know a lot of things that went on in children's television broadcasting in the 70s. This isn't going to take a dark turn, is it?
It's not, don't worry.
Okay. You sure?
Yeah.
Because if I hear bad things about Norris McWhirter, I don't know how I'll deal with it. On the same show, a man attempted to break the record for remembering the most amount of numbers after only a short period of time seeing them. Great record. This is what you look for. This man was successful. Not as a human. This man was successful, so credit to him. And the TV cameras back up this achievement. However, My friend's dad claims when he got backstage, the test of remembering those numbers meant he forgot where he put his coat. He left with certificate in hand, but cold. What an anecdote. Massive fan of the show, Greg from Walsall. That is one of the great anecdotes. Sorry, but that implies that there's... I'm folding that up to put it in my pocket so I can tell it at a later date. Unbelievable. If you've got any unfinished business, although if you're going to top that anecdote, I mean, that is... What a great little anecdote. And what I like is, finally, there is a show as lightweight and spurious as ours that it's got a place to say it. If you have any weak anecdotes like that you feel can finally be given an airing, Josh at xfm.co.uk.
Josh Widdicombe. Podcast XFM.
That was the Stone Roses, Made of Stone on XFM. This is Josh Widdicombe. Other bands and songs that have got a word from the band's name in the title? Josh at xfm.co.uk if you have too much time on your hands. That's not today's topics. Today's topics, we asked you, I put out a tweet, didn't I, Neil?
You did. It's your incredible number of followers now. Congratulations on that.
Thank you. I mean, if you told me I'd have that many followers when I was a kid, I'd have thought...
What's Twitter?
What's Twitter? And now, I think, God, I wish I wasn't on Twitter. But I have to be, for career reasons. Yeah, my agent wouldn't let me get off it. But I've quit Facebook, so what are you going to do about that?
Nothing.
Basically, all the time I would have spent on Facebook, I spend telling people how good it is that I'm not on Facebook. I'm as boring as someone who's given up smoking. I bought a phone this week.
All right.
Now, who have you served in a shop, and what did they buy? Shall I get us going on some I've done?
Do it.
Do you remember Carol Jackson from
EastEnders?
From EastEnders.
Yep.
Yeah, served her. She bought a book. Can't remember which one. It's not great. David James, though, came into Waterstones just before Euro 2004 and bought a book on confidence.
Really?
Didn't work out for him, did it? But I served quite a few when I worked in a shop, I suppose. But have you ever served anyone in the service industry?
Growing up, I worked in a newsagents and I served a lot.
God, if I hear any more about this bloody newsagent.
No, one of the guys in the local news came in and he had like a cap on really low. And there was two of us behind the till and I bent down to kind of do something, but also to kind of go, he's not that famous to be wearing that cap that low. And then as soon as I popped up, he was right at the till.
Oh, God.
So he clearly heard me.
Oh, but at least he found out.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, who have you served and what did they buy? What was the other one?
Have you been haunted, but no one responded
All right,
to
well, let's just...
my topic.
Well, they did. One person did.
Did they? Oh, I missed that.
Yeah, you missed it. And now we haven't got it written in front of us.
That's fine.
Do we just throw this? Oh, that's the saddest thing that's ever happened. Next week, have you been... We will do it.
Okay.
So I've got a good story on it, but let's not do it today. Let's instead just go, who have you served and what do they buy? Let's have a bit of a cry while we listen to the Florence and the Machine.
Josh Widdicombe. XFM.
This is Josh Widdicombe on XFM, talking about who have you served and what did they buy. It really is simple radio, isn't it?
The way we do it. It's simple on the
We've
radio.
got so many, Neil. Well, let's start with this one. Hello, Josh and producer Neil. Many years ago, I once served Jennifer Saunders on my first day at Virgin Megastores in Exeter. First day, what a debut. She bought the first Avril Lavigne album. Wow. It wasn't clear if it was for herself or her daughter. Well, we know her daughter. We've had her daughter on the show, one of her daughters. So shall I text her? Or can we get her on the phone?
Let's just text her.
Blimey! Try and bring a bit of multimedia to the show. You throw it back in my face. As it was my first day, I was trying my hardest to do everything as well as I could and not make any mistakes. So the most awkward thing was having to check her signature against her credit card when clearly it said Jay Saunders on the card and quite clearly was Jennifer Saunders. That's from Owen. I mean, that's what we looked for, and we got it. That and Mark Simmons, Paul McCartney, a hot dog. I think that's a joke, because Paul McCartney's vegetarian.
Might have been a vegetarian hot dog.
Absolutely love Paul McCartney. I think he's the person I have most arguments about.
To who?
With general people.
Okay.
That and Hitler. I've got some very strong views
I
on
take it
Hitler.
your views about Hitler and McCartney are polar opposites, as in you love McCartney but hate Hitler.
Yes, I never thought I'd have to say this, but for clarification, I don't like Adolf Hitler. I was joking.
Okay.
Why, are you worried?
No, not at all. It's why to protect your reputation.
There is a slight worry because we're not allowed to talk about politics in the lead up to the election.
Don't think he's running.
I think he is still running, mate, because I don't think he killed himself. I've heard he ran all the way to South America. Yeah?
He might, well, I don't know.
Josh Widdicombe. XFM.
Producer Neil,
Good morning.
why don't I give you the, the job of introducing our first guest?
Because it's your job and you get paid more.
Okay. We don't know that.
We do.
Do you know what I get paid?
Yeah.
What? Nick Helm is here. Good morning.
How much do you get paid, Josh?
I'm not going to talk about it. It's not loads,
Not loads.
but it is more than I deserve.
We agree on that.
We agree on that. At last we agree on something. How are you, Nick?
I'm very well. How are you?
Good. I'm good. I'm not as good as I was 2 minutes ago.
I'm very well. How are you? Yeah, it's terrible talking about how much money you make, isn't it, Josh?
What? How much? So that's today's topic is tweet in. How much do you make?
It'll all be not as much as you, Josh.
No, unless you tweet in. Let's not talk about money.
Not as much as you, Josh.
I'm not playing
I mean,
this.
it's just a standard response now. I mean,
Is that your catchphrase?
yeah, it's not as much as Josh. I wish I had his money. Oh, I saw a magician on a boat once talking about Dynamo, and he goes, this is a trick. I talked to Dynamo. I wish I had his money.
That's so bleak.
It was really bleak.
Oh, that's really bleak. I love magic. Do you like magic?
The station. Isn't that direct competition with XFM?
Yeah, I know. Shall we listen to it? I wish I had their money.
Wish I had their money.
Wish I had their playlist. What's on magic right now?
I would rather listen to Smooth, which is owned by Global and is better than Magic.
Oh, right, okay.
Better than magic. That should be their catchphrase.
So, Nick,
Yes.
have you ever served a celebrity in a shop?
No, I saw...
By the way, that's today's topic. I wasn't just panickingly moving the topic on.
it was a couple of months ago. Don't you remember, Josh? You were in there. And, you didn't recognise me.
Spending all my money.
I saw... No, I haven't served a celebrity in a shop, but once I saw Mike Lee in a butcher's looking very, very depressed as he stared at the sausages.
Would you like to hear a butcher's one? We have got a butcher's one. Hello, I used to work in a fishmonger stroke butcher. Does that count? At Waitrose on Marylebone High Street.
Yeah.
I know the branch.
Of course he shops at Waitrose.
No, I don't. Oh, come on. That's unfair.
Yeah, go on.
Get it delivered, mate, Ocado. Alan Rickman used to come in and buy his sausages from me. He always used to request them in a whisper so no one would hear his voice and realise it was him. 6 sausages, please, he'd say. Hope it helps, Joe.
It did help, Joe. Thank you very much.
That's the kind of level that's why we're paid the medium bucks.
I wish I had medium bucks. So yes, and another time I worked. I was working on the red carpet, and I had to get drinks for celebrities, and I had to get drinks for. Tim Rice was talking to Alice Cooper.
Oh wow!
And I had to get Tim Rice 2 glasses of champagne and Alice Cooper a Diet Coke. And when I got Tim Rice the champagne,
he was double parking.
Yeah, and but it might have been for someone that I couldn't.
Andrew Lloyd Webber.
It was Andrew Lloyd Webber. It was the entire cast of Cats. They got one flute of champagne, and
they had it in a saucer though, didn't they?
one saucer of poo. And Tim Rice was very, very grateful. He said, "Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. That's so kind of you. Thank you." And Alice Cooper just put his hand out, and I put the Coke in his hand, and he didn't even break sentence. Heartbreaking it was.
Oh, that's horrible.
Still love you, Alice. Still love you.
Would you like to hear Alice Cooper now?
Yeah, so let's put on Magic FM.
Well, this is Brandon Flowers.
Josh Widdicombe. XFM.
Brandon Flowers Can't Deny My Love. That's the name of his song. That's not a one full statement about my views on Brandon Flowers.
It writes itself, this stuff.
It really does, doesn't it? Oh, people at home don't realise this is scripted word for word.
Absolutely amazing. You really earn your big bucks.
The medium bucks on Josh Widdicombe show on XFM. Nick Helm still here. Before you came in, Nick,
Yes.
we were talking about serving celebrities in shops. Someone had served Jennifer Saunders in X to Virgin Megastore, the first Avril Lavigne album. They said it wasn't clear if it was for herself or her daughter. Now, her daughter, friend of the show, I did contact her, and she says it wasn't for me. So, Jennifer Saunders is a big fan of Avril Lavigne. That's what we got from that.
Could have been for Dawn, and it could have been for Joanna, couldn't it? We just don't know.
If it was her end of series gift for Joanna Lumley,
And a saucer of milk, a saucer of champagne.
saucer of champagne.
I know that was
I
just
think
for the
that-
cast of cats.
Yeah,
I know it doesn't apply for everyone.
No,
I know.
no, I think it is the most opulent thing you could ever order.
But it would be like a massive insult on the last day. Well done, you've done really well. Just gonna put this saucer of champagne on the floor for you to lap up in front of the crew. Down in one.
Right, do you want some, do you want to know what Jeff Beck bought in Argos?
Yeah,
A slightly cheaper non-branded mobile phone charger.
fantastic.
That's the kind of thing we're looking for, isn't it, Neil?
That's from Craig.
You what? That's from Craig, yeah. Were you shifting the blame in case Jeff Beck sues?
No, to give him Craig his props.
Another one? Roy Chubby Brown?
Yeah, Roy Cherry Brown. Who did he serve?
He served Ben Ranshaw. He was served by Ben Ranshaw. I sold Roy Chubby Brown some cleaning products in Wilko's about 18 years ago.
Fantastic.
This is what the radio is made for.
Some industrial bin liners, some lime, some shovels.
Josh Widdicombe. Podcast. XFM.
This is Josh Widdicombe, producer Neil,
Good morning.
but mainly Nick Helm,
Yeah, mainly.
the man himself, the man, the myth. Well, you know.
That's what I call.
Yeah.
How I introduce myself.
Yeah, that's how you introduce yourself. I was saying it as if it was an absurd thing to do, and then I realised that that's exactly
Do it all
what
the time, mate.
Do it all the time, yeah.
Do it
If
when I'm
anything-
entering the living room.
I almost made a joke about entering the living room as a euphemism then, and then I thought, you know what,
In a way,
I'm better.
they're all living rooms.
They're comfy. Let's move on. Right, now. Normally at this point we have a game, but we've had a string of failures, haven't we, Neil?
We have.
We had Neil or No Neil. Didn't work out for us. What did we try last week? You brought...
It was a variation on Neil or No Neil, but I can't remember what it was.
It was bad. It was suggested by a listener.
Yeah.
And then I tried to do my Wikipedia game.
Yeah.
What about a game called String of Failures, where you tie everyone's failures on a piece of string, and then you got to guess which ones.
Guess which
the
person it
worst.
is.
Yeah.
You get a film star, and then you have all their films that failed in a string, and you have to guess who it is.
Yeah, we have two guests, and they all have a string of their failures, and then you've got to guess which one it is.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, it's quite a personal game, though, isn't
It
it?
is a personal game, but
When
what
I
are we
vote-
doing if we're not trying to get to know each other?
Exactly. Isn't that the XFM slogan?
That's our strapline, yeah.
That's our strapline. So, Neil, have you brought a game this week?
I have, yep.
Okay, let's see how it goes.
It's called Nanmin, like admin, but Nanmin,
Like a gran.
like a grand.
Just as
Would
we
it not
didn't go
have
with
been bad to call
Nadmin.
Would it not have been better to do Dadmin?
That could be next week, potentially.
I don't think we're going to have a sequel to this.
Nanmin.
No, Nanmin's got two options.
It's for when people do their taxes on Indian bread.
I mean, you've gone a long way for that joke, Nick. To Delhi.
Someone's got to do it.
Which is just quite simply, we ask during the week for tales from listeners' nans, and then we read out the best ones.
Okay, have you got any?
No, because this is like a workshop, isn't it?
No, it's not. It's a fully finished, shiny radio show.
Okay. Or the second option.
Hang on, Nanmin.
Yeah.
So you've come up
is viewers nans phoning in with anecdotes. Not even about offices.
No.
Oh my God.
That is...
No wonder he makes more than you.
Or the second option
I do
was
apologise, Josh. You're doing all the heavy lifting.
So let's see what your second option is then.
we flip a coin and catch up with whichever nan kind of. So you say heads and I say tails, and then we flip a coin, and whichever one it lands on, we catch up with that nan.
What? I have to phone my nan?
Yeah.
This is called Nanmin also.
Yeah.
What's the min got to do with anything?
It's like admin, so you just kind of.
But it's not. It's not like
about admin, and Nanmin doesn't even work as a pun.
no.
Dadmin.
Dadmin.
Nadmin.
Yeah. Exactly.
Badmin. People
Yeah.
that were terrible at office jobs coming in and
Or Dadminton you could have, which is we played badminton against our dads.
I like the sound of that.
No, we're not doing that.
Nanbledon. That's when Nans play tennis. You're rubbish.
Right, we're going to fall back on my Wikipedia one
Okay.
every week. Which is for this section. I'm just going to read out.
Nanmin.
Just going to read out the Wikipedia pages I've been on this week. You can ask me about them.
Okay.
Newsnight. Then I linked to Jeremy Paxman, and then Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, let's hear about that.
Well, I just want... Someone told me there was a comedian in it. I couldn't find out who it was.
Mackenzie Crook.
No, they said another one who's not as famous as Mackenzie Crook. Well, it wasn't on the Wikipedia page. This whole link's been an absolute disaster.
What about... You should have done IMDb.
Not part of the feature, mate. I did do IMDb afterwards.
Did you Wikipedia IMDb? That's where the fun
have you ever done
starts.
that? Can you do that?
That's a bit meta.
And you can't IMDb.
You can't
Wikipedia
IMDb until there's a film.
Until there's the film. You can IMDb Facebook.
Yeah. Thank you for saving the link, Nick Helm.
Josh Widdicombe, XFM.
Do you want to hear a quick... Well, you know, I think you're going to be pretty excited about this, Nick Helm.
Okay.
You like magic, don't you? You enjoyed the Jeff Beck and Argos anecdote, didn't you?
I did. Yeah.
Tom Mackey. I served Paul Daniels at Argos in Loughborough.
Oh.
Do you want to place a bet on what you reckon?
Was he... he wasn't buying one of his own magic sets, was he? He had a gig and he'd forgotten all of his props.
If only. He was buying 8 alarm clocks.
Of course, because, do you know why? He had a trick which involved smashing an alarm clock and he wanted to practice.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, of course it is.
Not that Debbie's a heavy sleeper. It seems unlikely, doesn't it? I think it was obviously for magic. Also, tax deductible, I imagine, those alarm clocks.
One for every room.
I reckon.
He's a narcoleptic, he never knows where he's going to drop off.
Yeah.
Oh. In which case, you'd just keep it on you.
Yeah, you would, wouldn't you? Like
Don't buy 8, Paul. You haven't thought of the other option. 1, and keep it in your
also,
pocket.
It's not the 80s anymore, Paul. Don't go throwing your cash around.
What year was it?
He doesn't say, actually.
The rate he's spending money is alarming.
Oh,
it's just stuff like that, really, Josh.
It's really good, isn't it?
It's just stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, that's probably enough, isn't it, for this link, isn't it, Neil?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think there's any more to say on it.
Josh Widdicombe.
Kings of Leon, Manhattan on XFM. Josh Widdicombe. I was about to say Josh Widdicombe is joined. We are joined by Nick Helm.
Josh Widdicombe.
You've got to get your name into the link.
We are joined by Nick Helm.
Josh Widdicombe, we are joined by. It sounds like
very regal Josh Widdicombe.
It sounds like Josh Widdicombe's like the swear word. Josh Widdicombe, we're joined by Nick Helm.
Yeah, well,
I'd like it
if that took off.
If that took off.
Yeah.
Josh Widdicombe, this is a good link. Anyway.
Like the famous Gordon Bennett.
Yeah. Who was Gordon Bennett? There's one for Wikipedia next week. Now,
he was
Nick,
a highly paid comedian with a radio show.
Well, that's where the similarities have ended, isn't it? If he was highly paid. I mean, if he was highly paid in radio, that seems very unlikely to me.
No.
Nick Helm's Heavy Entertainment.
Yes.
Excited?
I am, yes. I am excited. Yeah, filmed it ages ago.
Yeah, it's weird, that kind of break between filming something and going out.
Yeah, I mean, I was watching MasterChef the other day, and what happens on MasterChef is someone that's in the finals has made dinner, and they obviously know that it's good, and they put it down in front of the judges, and then there's that waiting period of about 10 seconds where the judges put the food in their mouth and then say, yeah, it's lovely, it's good.
Yeah.
And that has been the same for me, only it's been 11 months. And, it's unbearable.
What? Yeah, I bet. Have you tried to not think about it?
It's actually been impossible not to think about it.
Yeah,
It's been pretty horrific.
And when's it out?
Tuesday. It's Tuesday.
Tuesday.
So
Are you going to watch it?
Yes.
Are you?
Yes.
Wow. I don't know. I've never watched it. I try not to watch myself. Do you like watching yourself?
I know it's going to be... I'm fine watching myself. I'm fine. I don't really have a problem anymore. But it's not like, you watch it for technical... I just want to see it as it goes out for the first one, just to... I mean, I didn't really watch Uncle live. I watched the first couple live.
Yeah.
And then it's all right. It's just making sure that... It's like seeing your kids off to school and making sure they get through the gate. So it's just kind of...
I think the most exciting will be seeing your name on the channel, because it's your name in the title.
Yeah.
Seeing that on the channel thing would be the...
Yeah, I mean, I was in the Radio Times this week. And they wrote a little feature about, and that's a big deal, because obviously we all grew up reading the Radio Times. It was my favourite novella.
It was my favourite TV-based magazine.
Yeah, well, it was the best.
It was the best, wasn't
perfect for highlighting. Absolutely fantastic.
Are you going to go on Twitter?
I'm going to tweet up until it airs, and then I'm going to get off Twitter for about 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And I think that would be...
I do not understand people who search their own name in Twitter.
My uncle, when Uncle came out, he wrote to me. My real uncle, he wrote to me, and I opened up the little envelope, and he'd cut out a load of clippings of negative reviews.
What? No.
And so it was just like, so there was just like these bad reviews for Uncle where people didn't like the pilot or the first episode. And
Why
I was
did
just
he
like,
do
well,
that?
I think he just thought that my name in print was a bonus. Do you know what I mean? And he's just like, hey, Nick's on telly. He's obviously an egomaniac. He'll just be happy to see that. But it was worse than that. He didn't just cut the clippings out. He photocopied it. So he doesn't own a photocopier. He'd gone to like the local library, done a colour photocopy, paid for it, cut it out, put it in an envelope, sent it to me. I opened it up and just thinking, hey,
That's
my
like-
uncle's written. Oh my God.
You're being trolled by post.
Yeah, I know. You can't block your uncle. Well, you can, but it's weird.
But Tuesday night, 10 o'clock.
Tuesday, 10:30.
10:30. BBC Three.
Yeah.
Josh Widdicombe. Podcast. XFM.
This is Josh Widdicombe. That is the cure to your Sunday morning blues. Am I
Amazing.
right? Amazing?
Yeah.
Or terrible? Terrible. Nick Helm, good morning.
Good morning.
Ivo Graham, hello.
Hello.
Did you just pop your headphones on as you said hello?
I wasn't sure whether I was
As
going to
if to go,
introduce this.
I'm
link or not.
broadcasting.
I like to maintain a very clear line between when I'm off script, off mic, and doing my job to the best of my ability.
Yeah, because you're very different characters, aren't you?
Oh, if some of your listeners knew the kind of stuff I get up to.
You're actually a black woman from Alabama, aren't you? Off air. No.
I don't wish to discuss.
Okay, fine. Suddenly got very awkward, hasn't it?
Yeah, you did it.
You're allowed to say the word black. That is a thing.
Oh, it's Alabama, I can't bear. what an awful state.
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Have you ever served a celebrity in a shop?
No, I haven't, I'm afraid.
Oh.
Wow.
He's never worked in a shop.
Have you ever worked in a shop?
I haven't worked in a shop, no.
Oh dear, well that's a problem. Right.
I've worked in the service industry.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
I don't
been
want to know
waiter.
about your tennis career. Hey, come on.
That's good. That is good. That's
Thank
really
you.
good.
What did you do in service industry?
Barman, dishwasher, and I flipped burgers at the 2009 League One playoff final.
Oh God, how did you score that job?
I went on a form online to do some catering events over the summer to make money while I was at uni. I was thinking Wimbledon, strawberries and cream. But
That's what you'd spend your money on.
But that was fine because you got to go anyway because you're privileged.
no, I've never been to Wimbledon,
Have you
Josh. No.
Okay, fine.
They don't let people from Alabama in.
Shall I read out someone that's going to blow you away, Ivo?
Okay.
Dear Josh, producer Fernie and intern Charles, he's not here. After working in the hotel and restaurant industry for several years, I've collected a couple of these little stories. Hopefully some of them will pique your interest.
Consider our interest piqued.
Consider our interest. Pharrell Williams.
No.
Sea bass and chips. And then grilled chicken sandwiches for him and his entourage.
I
at
thought
18.
Seabass
Was
and
another
Chips
rapper.
was another rapper. Yeah. I mean, I thought it was going to be a list of rappers that I didn't really know. Oh yeah, Seabass and Chips. They were great. They were great on top of the
We're
pops.
presuming sea bass and chips is what he ordered.
Yeah.
It wasn't Pharrell Williams sea bass and chips, and they had
Featuring Seabass and Chips.
feet sea bass and chips.
Oh man.
Mike and Zara Tyndall, open brackets, Nee Phillips, close brackets.
Who's that?
Zara Phillips is Princess Anne's daughter, and Mike Tyndall's a rugby player. Plus, half the Gloucester rugby team, 5-course evening meal, and enough alcohol to sink a small ship. David Hasselhoff and girlfriend.
Is that what
Unspecified.
she's called? How lucky for him.
Silver service roast chicken room service. While they sat and watched and made small talk with me, one of the most bizarre experiences of my life. The Hoff also requested I heat a large jar of coconut oil for him. I dread to think what he intended to use it for.
Yeah.
All the best. Greetings from Vienna, Jonathan. I think that just about sums up the show.
Do you think Jonathan had to emigrate to Austria because he was sitting on too many celebrity secrets?
He had to sit and watch David Hasselhoff eat a chicken dinner with girlfriends.
Yeah, with girlfriend.
With Night Rider on mute in the background.
I bet he couldn't believe his luck when this was our topic this week. Just get out the typewriter. Begin my memoirs. Thank you, Jonathan.
Josh Widdicombe. Podcast. XFM.
What was new music from Elbow? What time do you call this?
Just after 12.
I
We don't just throw the show together, mate.
You're knocking this out of the park this
know.
week. I mean, thank you. You've gone above and beyond for me.
Nick Helm and Ivo Graham. Should we have a couple more of these celebrities? I mean, there's so many.
Yes, please.
Yeah, listen.
Stuart Price. What I like about this is he ends with an exclamation mark.
Right.
Cooked breakfast wrap for Philip Schofield at 2 in the afternoon.
Wow.
That's superb. Matt Clapson. Back in the 80s, I served Norman Cook in a furnishing shop in Reigate. He bought a hammock.
Right. I would say that one's more deserving of the exclamation mark. He's undersold that one.
Fat Boy Slim. Is that Norman Cook?
Yeah.
Yes, it is. He didn't know what size to get the hammock. Sorry.
Fantastic. Fantastic. I mean, that was a slow burner. It took a while for Josh to get that, but I was right by your side there, mate.
You believed in him, didn't you?
Yeah, totally.
Very good. Ivo,
Yes.
now, we've had some interaction regarding something you said last week.
Oh, no.
Hi, Josh and producer Neil. I was listening to episode 105 when Ivo discussed taking one of the Match of the Day panel on holiday.
Right.
Hypothetically. He mused
I was
over
actually on
the...
the FA Cup semi-final panel, but that's fine.
He mused over the idea of taking crisp aficionado Gary Lineker to Mexico to see the home of the Doritos.
I've been thinking about this all week. I know where this is going.
However, Doritos were created in Disneyland in Anaheim in the 1960s.
Yeah.
For your pleasure, Josh, the Wikipedia link is here. http://en.m.
I'm sure people can find them.
Wikipedia.org/wiki/Doritos.
God.
Gary. Do you think that's Gary? Do you think that's Gary Lineker? I really hope it is. Proving he's a crisp aficionado.
You're saying it weird. He's a crisp aficionado. He's not a crisp aficionado. I mean, you make it sound like he's very crisp.
Oh, right, no. He's an aficionado of crisps.
Yeah.
He's not an aficionado who happens to be crisp.
He's a crisp aficionado. He is a crisp aficionado.
He's a crisp aficionado.
A crispy aficionado. That sounds like a meal.
He's sea bass. He sounds like a rapper.
Crispy aficionado. Ivo,
Yeah, about a minute or two after coming off air last weekend, I realised that Doritos probably weren't from Mexico, and I'd been making a lazy cultural stereotype, like I was the presenter of Top Gear.
Based on a Mexican snack, though, wasn't it?
yeah, I mean, I think you can have it. Although I did go to Mexico recently, didn't see a Dorito.
Didn't see a Dorito. Did you see Gary Lineker and me?
I didn't see Gary Lineker in
You're
it.
saying that tortillas were made in Disneyland, or specifically Doritos?
Doritos.
Well, Doritos are just tortillas with different flavours on them.
Yeah.
They're just a branded tortilla.
Yeah,
aren't
it's like
they?
Hoover. It's like Hoover and vacuum cleaner.
God.
Like Phileas Fogg was around before the brand rather than the man.
Yeah.
It was around before
I love
Doritos.
Phileas Fogg. Do they still exist?
I think in very select places. I mean, they rebranded him, didn't they? They gave him sort of like a grill and some gold chains.
Oh, did they?
This is what's so great about
What were you going to say?
Team Radio. I wouldn't have had the guts to take on Gary on my own, but Nick's really fought my corner.
Yeah,
Very grateful.
I mean, Gary is talking bullhooey, for want of a better word.
Well, thank you for your correspondence, Gary, and it is, not really appreciated, it turns out.
We're just obsessed with branding, but in actual fact, we take your meaning.
Oh, I'm obsessed with branding as well. I'm not,
Yeah, which is a... I can't be bothered. Some joke about a horse or a cow. This is Kasabian.
Josh Widdicombe.
The Verve, Lucky Man on XFM now. On the Josh Widdicombe Show. Nick Helm. Ivo Graham. As always at this point.
We're going to play Who's the Luckiest Man.
We're going to play Who's the Luckiest Man. No, we're going to play... And the answer is all of us.
Yeah.
For being able to enjoy each other's company.
But luckiest is Josh.
Yes, because I get to enjoy your company.
I know, that's what I meant.
Yeah. Okay, good. Now, hypothetical situation for you, Ivo.
Yes, please.
And I just want... Last week, it was which member of the Match of the Day panel would you go on holiday with? You chose Gary Lineker and then besmirched Doritos.
Yeah.
This week, I think we should go with Neil's hypothetical. Neil's got a hypothetical this week. What is it?
So, Ivo, you've been gigging or doing a show, however you want to phrase it.
Okay. I can identify with this.
And you open up your front door, there's another pair of shoes next to your girlfriend's shoes. Isn't they're unusual? And you walk in the front room. And
This is a bit intense.
Yeah, it is.
And John Terry's there. How do you react?
Hey, Neil, you've chosen a... What are you thinking about? You're basically saying, what would you do if your girlfriend was having an affair? That's not a fun little radio game, is it?
And then Josh Widdicombe walks in the room wearing your bathrobe.
What's on your mind, Neil?
You threw to me.
I know.
He panicked and he said the first thing that came into his head at that time.
That comes into your head.
I come to this radio show to escape my greatest fears, not to stare them in the face. But I reckon the fact that it was John Terry would offset it a bit, I suppose.
Would you prefer your girlfriend to have an affair with someone you didn't know or John Terry? I'd go John Terry.
I think...
Because you got an anecdote out of it.
Whether that's for an anecdote for your friends or for the press.
Would you sell your story?
I think I would.
Would you?
I wouldn't tell anyone.
No.
I'd be so ashamed.
It would come to define your career.
No, you're right.
Well, you wouldn't have kissed and told.
So am I
You
the
wouldn't
bad
even get
guy
to-
suddenly already?
Everyone would be on his side, Ivo.
Oh, man.
Would you prefer your girlfriend to have an affair with John Terry or a man in the street?
In the street, everyone would know. Passers by, it would be on YouTube in seconds.
Oh, dear. Her parents listen to this podcast sometimes.
Oh, thanks for the download.
Great numbers. Okay, the next question is,
Another hypothetical.
no, so this is further on with the John Terry
Oh,
thing.
God. Okay.
Would they be his shoes or would they be football shoes? With studs and stuff?
So, so I don't know that it's him immediately. I just know it's a footballer.
Yeah. Would you
Right.
be pleased or disappointed when it was John Terry?
I would be... What, as opposed to another footballer?
Yeah.
I think I'd rather it was
Which
someone I...
footballer would you pick?
Yeah.
Out of all the
That's
footballers,
good,
which
that's-
footballer would you like to...
Would you want it to be one
find
you
out?
liked?
Beckham, obviously, be fine.
Would you kind of go, well, fair enough?
Fair enough, it's Beckham. I got to meet Beckham, ideally. I think I could trap him into a pint with the guilt. That's a necessary evil.
Would you have your photo taken with Beckham?
Absolutely. He can still be in his underwear, that's fine.
Would you so you've come home, John Terry has got together with your girlfriend. Would you want their relationship to last?
No. I don't want it to...
Would you prefer it to be a one-off fling?
Absolutely.
Would you?
Why
Would
would...
you not want her to find happiness with John Terry?
I don't think anyone's found happiness with John Terry. Not even Gary Cahill in the long term.
I'm guessing that's a manager. I know nothing about football.
Oh, yes. You're close enough.
I called them football shoes.
No, we tried to overlook that. We'll throw to Neil for the last question. Your favourite celebrity. If you came home and there's a pair of high tops there, and it's the man from the Ting Tings.
Jules DeMartino.
Jules DeMartino. Yes or no? Would you be pleased to meet the guy from the Ting Tings or disappointed that your life had fallen apart?
I'd be very disappointed my life had fallen apart.
Would you get your photo with the guy from the Ting Tings?
Definitely not, no.
Why not? That'd be good for the show.
It would be
Is the Ting
very
Tings
good
your
for the show.
favourite band?
It's a long backstory, Nick, we haven't got time for it.
I never listen.
They're not my favourite band.
Let's turn the show on the other foot, Neil. If he's there, are you fine with that?
No, did you not hear me say my life
Would
had
you,
fallen
as a
apart?
revenge mission, get together with Kate from the Ting Tings?
I don't think that's a revenge mission.
I'm not interested in older ladies, it's fine.
Oh, Neil, there's no need to have a go at her for that.
Josh Widdicombe. XFM.
Jamie T, don't you find that's a great song, isn't it, Neil?
It is, yeah.
This is Josh Widdicombe on XFM. We're coming to the end of the show. As a thank you for coming in, you can all plug what you like. Neil?
I will keep listening to XFM all the time. Yeah?
Even if you're asleep, just leave it on because we still get the viewing figures.
We don't.
We don't. Nick Helm, what would you like to plug?
My new TV series, Nick Helm's Heavy Entertainment, starting on Tuesday at 10:30 on BBC. And also the Uncle album is available for download on iTunes.
There we go. Twitter?
I mean...
Why bother? You got a TV show. Smart you.
The people that want to will find me.
Ivo Graham.
Well, your brother got very cross with us last week for not promoting the brilliant Mahuntleth Festival.
Yeah, but...
So we should do that because I like the idea of people trying to make it there. It's in Wales. 2 days of it have already gone. If you start driving now, you might get there in time for the last show on Sunday evening.
Or the curry.
Yeah, we'll be going for a curry at about 9 o'clock tonight.
Yeah, it shows us it closes at 9:02, doesn't it? So
Yeah.
there's no... We go for a curry on the Sunday.
Yeah, we're going for a curry.
You won't make the curry, but
No, this is Sunday.
you'll be able to... Yeah, but you won't make it.
Oh, no, you won't make the curry. Although, I wish you would, because I went there last year and they've got a 1-star hygiene rating on their door. Unbelievable. Still had it, though. Quite nice. What else do you want to plug?
Nothing.
Edinburgh?
Yes, I love the Edinburgh Festival, and I am going there. So come to that.
Would you mind plugging my TV show?
No, it's received quite enough plugs from you and adverts on iPlayer.
I haven't seen it on iPlayer.
All right, then Nick Helm's Heavy Entertainment.
Thank you. Brilliant. Job done.
It's been a great show. Thank you for coming in, guys. A pleasure, Neil.
Yes, thank you very much.
Josh Widdicombe. Podcast XFM.